This happened about 2 years ago. It's something I've only told one other person since. Pickers of the town. It's shit for a reason explained later. B. Canuck, Vancouver area. B19 with a fresh pal and ability to legally drink. Plan a trip up north. Dad tells me about an old abandoned mining town his friend used to work in the 60s. Gives us a location. Decide to bring native bro from high school. We both own guns. Ask my dad if I can borrow his AWD, Honda passport from the 90s. He accepts. Bro brings SVT 40. I bring an SMLE number 1 Mark III. Drive past Kamloops by about 200 kilometers. Takes about 2 days of driving. Spend one uneventful night at abandoned trailer park. Eventually find ourselves on backwards using ancient maps Dad provided. Modern maps and GPS don't have the roads on record. Clearly old logging roads, not used for at least a few years. Eventually reach Old Town. Desolate as fuck. A few collapsing wood buildings. Starting to get late, but light is enough to snap a few pics. Brought old Nikon FM2 because I didn't want to risk my digital. Bro and I set up camp next to the car in an open semi-gravel area. Use wood from old buildings as firewood. Gets dark, cook a few cans of beans and some salmon native bro caught a few days before. Out comes the beer. Head to the tent, mildly inebriated, decided to go in the woods the next day. Late night / early morning, hear multiple human footsteps outside. It's probably just native bro. Go back to sleep, Anon. Realize native bro is sleeping next to me about 5 minutes later. Wake bro up quietly. Both grab rifles and open tent. Nothing there. Go back to sleep, Anon. Probably just a dream. Agree with bro and sleep. Wake up next morning, somewhat early. Native bro already awake making breakfast. Frying god-tier canned sardines. Anon, it wasn't a dream. Takes a minute for my mind to remember. Bro points at multiple boot tracks into campsite. Not ours for sure. I'm visibly more creeped out than native bro. Native bro grew up on shitty reserve, seen some shit, etc. Decide we'll lock our gear into the car. Both of us want to investigate. Consult a map. Go inwards for day packs of limited food, water, first aid. Oil lamps and flashlights as well. We each have a reasonable amount of ammo. 40 rounds of new production Privi 174GR FMJ .303. Borrows a couple of X54L sniper clips in his coat pocket. Start moving in the direction of the footsteps. Native bro is a good hunter / tracker, but loses the trail about a mile in. Decide to continue in the direction of the tracks anyways. Creep down at this point. Native bro is pissed that he locks the tracks. Hike about 5 miles and find some more abandoned stuff. Starts getting dark. Realize we got carried away and realize that it'd be unwise to head back. Eat some cold beans, since we don't want to attract attention with the fire, and then sleep. Wake up in the middle of the night to whispering. Takes a minute for us to adjust to low light. Look over at sleeping native bro. Realize there's 2 black cloaked figures over him. One is touching his face. They're talking in English, but not audibly. Just about to shit myself. SMLE is across my lap. Flip off safety as quietly as I can. One of them starts reaching for bro's SVT next to him. Raise rifle to my hip slowly, pointing it in their general direction. Fire off the first shot. Thor's hammer.png. The fuckers see me rise up while working the bolt and run. They start screaming like you'd expect someone getting their eyes ripped out. Native bro practically shitting himself and gets down. Mad minute into the forest. Takes us about a minute of frantically throwing our gear together to get out. Panic and start running in a random direction. Get cut up running through the bush. Native bro and I are somewhat fit, both in army cadets since we were young. Run for a good 20 minutes, stop to catch our breath. Anon! What the fuck? Explain what happened to bro. He looks horrified, more than usual. Tells me about some cult that committed crimes on his reserve. Says RCMP couldn't do anything since it was native land. Linked to disappearances and child abuse. Reserve is maybe 200 kilometers from us. Nobody ever convicted. When our nerves calm, we consult the map and compass. Realize there's a clearing near us and use that to navigate. Forgo lights in favor of quiet movement. Move slowly for about 6 hours. Periodic map and compass checks. Tired as fuck when we arrive at the tree line near the camp. Despite being dark, we realize there's movement in our camp. 3 hooded figures? And what seems to be a man with a deer's head trying to get into the car. Hands are shaking, mum's spaghetti. Start moving down the hill. Not paying attention because of no sleep. Foot catches on a root. Crash and roll downhill. Fettuccine Alfredo.jpg. Cut up and bruised, but otherwise fine. All 4 of them are screaming and moving towards me, unaware of Native Bro still being in the tree line. Deerhead leader is naked, cock flailing everywhere. He's about 10 feet away from me. Realize he's got a fucking hatchet. Realize I won't be able to raise a small MRE in time. I'm gonna die here, .gif. Make my peace with the God Emperor. 2 shots ring out in rapid succession. Deerman drops his hatchet, clutches his chest, pulls one leg up, and fucking drops. Continuing. Probably last part. Pick related. It's the SMLE and my dad's car. Hooded figures hesitant now, and their leader just took some Soviet glory to the chest. Pick myself up and raise SMLE. Sort of aim at the middle of 3, and fire. What I assume to be a hip shot, and drops him. He's screaming like a motherfucker. At this point, Native Bro's next to me. Out of what I suppose was pure anger, one of them charges us with a long knife, maybe a short sword. Native Bro and I fire a shot. We both hit him. Practically goes limp instantly. Last remaining uninjured fucker tries dragging his injured friend off. I'm hesitant to shoot, since they're backing off, but Native Bro shoots, and the uninjured one in the head. He keeps moving for about half a second before dropping. We check their bodies. Realize the deer man was just a guy wearing a head of a deer. X50R blew his chest open, blood and mashed organ everywhere. Last 2 were dead as fuck. Old rounds, like that really mashed organs and bone. Last guy remaining was pleading for his life. Realize he's not pleading with us. Screaming into the sky with some sort of strange named deity / god / whatever. Can't remember it for the life of me. Anon, we can't let him live. Realize Native Bro's right. Threat of a cult coming after us or police finding out is too great if he lives. Don't want to do it. Offer SMLE to Native Bro. He simply kneels and slits the guy's throat. Whispers something for Sierra. Pick up as much of our brass as we can, pack up the car, and get the fuck out. Light out by the time we get out on the main road. Adrenaline dying down. Realize that I just killed someone. Break down in the car and cry like a bitch. Pull over and have a bro talk about it. Tells me what we did in self-defense. Feel like there's more to it for him. Sober up and continue on the road. We take it easy and stay at motels for the rest of our way back. End up eating the White Spot and Hope. Completely silent over the meal. Realize how hungry I am. Barely ate twice on the way back. Remainder of the ride back is spent in complete silence. Drop Native Bro off at his apartment in North Van. We exchange an awkward silence and a few smiles. He hugs me for some reason. Call it gay if you want, but I needed that shit. Get back home, lock bedroom door, keep loaded SMLE next to bed. Sleep for the better part of a day and a half. Met up with Dad to return car. Remember what Native Bro said about Sierra? Turns out she was Bro's older sister, who was kidnapped as a kid, ended up being an alcoholic and druggie. Hanged herself when she was about 16. Shit bricks. Asked Dad why town was abandoned. Well and on, the mine dried up, and many of the residents resorted to a legal industry to make a living. Ask specifics. He said he doesn't know. He'll ask a friend who lived there. Friend died 6 months later of lung cancer. Never had the chance to ask him. Even more frustrating than the nightmares is not knowing what the fuck happened. Can't seem to find out the town or the town's name online. And I've wanted to go back with a larger group. Probably going to wait a few years though. Pick related, at some of my guns. Still own that damn SMLE.